what we are trying to solve, maybe we can try to convince you that this is not an election between two people, but it's an election between two ideas. The idea wants to provide unity than division. The idea that one party provides for diversity rather than monopoly. The idea that we are in the rule of law, where no one is above the law, rather than someone who thinks that he is the main ruler, who thinks that he could be a king, but he's not. He's only the president who's supposed to serve the people. For that, I will give you why I believe Mr. Biden is the right president for this election. There are 5 attributes of a great leader: competence, communication, compassion, courage, and last but not the least, and the most important, is character.
I heard that.
Heralded by the 2 virtues of humanity as well as integrity. In terms of competence, Mr. Trump has been in the office for the last 3.5 years. Dr. Ramirez has advocated that he has made this particular tax cut that has benefited for all of us. The Brookings Institute have indicated that because of this tax cut of $2 trillion, that there has been no generation of revenue. As a matter of fact, there was a loss of revenue in 2018. It has reduced the rate of the big corporations from 35% to 21%. The people who doesn't need the money. Mr. Gates has said, Mr. Buffett has said, Michael Bloomberg has said. And what about those small citizens? Have they gotten anything from this particular tax cut? Second, Mr. Trump was given the duty to protect our people. What happened when this pandemic or the coronavirus came to our shores? It was already there in January. He knew about it. He claimed that he did it by giving this China ban. But did you remember that there was a lot of Chinese who came here who still have legal status? Was there any quarantine for people coming from Europe at that time? And granting that there was some merit to what he says about the Chinese ban, what did he do thereafter? He said that many times, the virus will go away from 15 to 0. It will disappear. You as a medical doctors should know that virus never disappears.
I used to think he was like underestimating.
It's going to be from epidemic to endemic.
I used to think when he said 100,000 deaths would be
any citizen will understand.
I thought it was going to be less.
But then, Mr. Trump has given a very, very difficult message, confusing messages. He says, follow the science, follow the expertise. And yet what happens? He goes out in public, calls up for rallies in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And what happened? He lost his friend by the name of Kane. And there are a lot of people who probably had, because of these messages, decided not to use masks and not to use social distancing. And even Mr. Trump would advocate quackery. He was the one who advocated for hydroxychloroquine. That people literally use it. He was the one who claimed that maybe we can inject our arms with this Lysol. And what happened? Now he also claims that for that lady who said that she believes in hydroxychloroquine, and yet she was the one who also advocated that there was alien in the DNA for the vaccine. So, what about Biden? Out of that, what happened to us? We're only 4%. We're only 4% of the world's population, and yet 25% of the cases comes from the United States of America. That was powerful. The one with the greatest technology, the one with the greatest science, the greatest scientists. What happened to us? 170,000 deaths. This could have been one of your brothers, sisters, as you see them in the Philippines, our classmates, our friends. If we grieve for them, why can't we grieve for those people who have lost their lives, their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, and their sisters? These are not numbers. This is what it is. They're people, and this 5 people. Now, South Korea, at the same time when you have all these problems as the United States, they are only 50 million, yet they have only a few thousand casualties, a few thousand cases. And we have 300 million, but what do we have? 5 billion cases and still going on, still rising because of this advocacy that people should open up their businesses. What happened? Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Arizona, and Florida. Their cases increased because they follow his ill advice. And what about those Democratic states that he condemns? Andrew Cuomo from New York, now there's only 1%. And now they're going back to school. So this is what we call the gross incompetence of this president. On the other hand, Vice President Biden, we had a great economic crisis in 2008. Millions of people lost their homes because of the previous administration in terms of the housing crisis, the mortgage crisis. What did they do? The Republicans were after the closure of all those plants in Michigan, Ford, and Chrysler, and GM could have lost thousands of jobs. What did Obama and Biden did? No way. We have to preserve these workers. They are the middle class. They are the backbone of our country. And so what happened? They gave loans. And later on, what is all these three other did? They all succeeded. They paid their loans with interest. This is what we call the care for the common man. Not for the rich and wealthy man, not for those in power, but those who have no voice. Second, the Affordable Care Act. You have seen this, your own daughters. Since Affordable Care Act, people who have no insurance, because of this Affordable Care Act, 35% of uninsured have been able to be insured. The people who have pre-existing conditions, diabetes, cancer, used to be that they were not allowed. They accumulate a lot of financial bills, causing a lot of people to go to bankruptcy and even suicide. But because of Affordable Care Act, you can be seen, there is no cap, your children will be able to be insured until age 26. And what does Mr. Trump do? He claims that for affordable care, but you know what happened? He was the one who he wanted to abolish it. Were it not for the courage of Senator McCain, this affordable care would have been destroyed. And you, the people who have benefited from this, and even red states, have advocated for the Medicaid expansion to provide help for those who are needy. Remember, our nation will only be measured not by the power of its might, of its military, but it will be measured by how we treat those who are dispossessed, those who are weak, those who are the elderly, those who are lonely, and those who needed our help. Second, communication. A great leader is one that unites, not one that divides. A leader is one that advocates for love, not one for hate. A leader is one that advocates for non-violence, not for violence. A leader is one that is humble in heart, but not feeling as if he has all the answers. When President Trump was asked whether has he committed any crime of God, his answer was, "Why would I?" I do not recall having to commit any sin. When Trump was asked, if Mr. Trump was asked, who is the greatest president, about Mr. Lincoln, he said, "What did you do?" He only wrote the Emancipation. I did more for the blacks. You know that Mr. Lincoln is the best president we ever had, because he was the one who championed for freedom. He was a champion who tried to unite our old states, and yet he suffered from bad depression, severe depression. Yet he never told anything ridiculous over the South. He has love and forgiveness. This is what we call the greatness of a president, to be able to forgive those who have done good, to be merciful. Mr. Biden communicates asking that we be united, asking that we all to be together, black, white, gay, straight, Republican or Democrat. We are all in this together. But we cannot have the United States, if we were to foster the same path as Mr. Trump, we're going to be lost. We're no longer having the sense of respect from the world. How could we have respect from the world when Mr. Trump, when he was in Finland, he was saying that he believed Mr. Putin rather than intelligence that Russia interfered in elections? Now, in your honest conscience, does any one of you believe that Russia did not interfere in our elections? That Russia wasn't the one who gave those particular emails of Podesta and Clinton to the WikiLeaks to Roger Stone? It has now been revealed by the Senate and the Intelligence Committee. If we have to allow a foreign government to subvert our elections and condoned by our president, then what do we call him? The violations that was given to him by our founding fathers is guilty of treachery and treason, that's the worst crime that could be committed by anyone, especially by the highest office of the land. Third, what we call compassion. Compassion, there are different degrees of love. The first degree of love is what we call empathy, the ability to feel the pain of someone else. The second one is what we call compassion, which to be heralded by kindness, the ability to be able to
I'm putting it in
come into
YouTube.
the pain of someone else. The
Yes.
third one is mercy.
They're hearing
The ability to
everyone's
forgive
comments.
someone to those who have offended you. And the last but
It's
not
not live, though.
and very difficult to give is to give
You have
love.
it there?
God is there.
My arm would
Christ
die
is
if
there.
I'm closer.
There is no greater love than the one who has laid down his life for his friends. And this
You can't,
you
it's
can see
Zoom.
in our heroes. The Filipino, in the Philippines, in America, the people who have come to preserve and protect democracy, offer their lives as our soldiers for the call of duty to preserve democracy. So, the compassion that I ask.
Charge
is
it,
the fact that
Jessica.
I don't see this, the compassion of this
That's your
man.
dad's. I
When
have
there
a
was
charge
a
it.
when there was a reporter who had a disability.
Bobby, you have a charger. Get the charger.
It looks like a Parkinson's. He just knocked the guy. When there were
My bag has
illegal
one.
immigrants who had children,
Bobby,
and they had
my
to
bag
be
has a
defended,
USB cord.
they kill him in cages.
That's Obama.
Where is
That's Obama.
we are Christians.
Bobby,
We are
here.
Catholics.
Bobby.
What is the greatest
Bobby.
commandment?
Hold it while it's
Love God
recording.
with
Make
the
sure it's
whole
there.
heart and the whole
I'm gonna get the
soul,
charger
with
for
the
the
whole
phone.
mind, and love your neighbor as thyself. But Saint John have said that those people who claim that they know God, but they do not love man, they do not know God, for God is love. So how can we say that we agree the right of the unborn? Yes, I'm against abortion. I believe that life begins at conception. But the issue is not about that the Democratic Party, Mr. Biden, is for abortion. The issue is that the law has said that we have to be given the power of choice. It's called free will. Even God, in free will, he knew that Satan is gonna go after him or go against him, but he allowed him to revolt against him, and he was thwarted and back to hell. Adam and Eve was given free will. They chose the wrong path. If that was the case, then we have to use it based upon cohesion. Are we be better off that would Christ have condoned those Spaniards who killed 1 million Mayans in Mexico in order to be Christianized? God would have wept, because God doesn't want us to converted to Christianity based upon cohesion, based upon violence, but rather of conviction, rather of love, rather of kindness. This is what the United States is all about. That's why we are the role model. We are the liberty stand for freedom, but not also for tolerance, for kindness. And last but not the least is what we call character, manifested by humility and integrity. And what is integrity? Is the ability to speak the truth at all times, to be able to find the courage to search for the truth. And where is the president lie? Where is the president in this particular integrity? He has said many lies, it's very difficult to count. And I'll give you several of them for you to believe. He says he doesn't know Stormy McDaniels. You never knew him. He was by his lawyer. And yet he was the one who signed the check given to this porn star, and have a sexual relation with this woman while his wife just gave birth. At the same time had another relationship with another woman by Kathy McDougal. This is a fact. This is not smear or hearsay. Integrity is for you able to speak the truth. And then when it comes to Ukraine, he said he never get involved. But it was found through the investigation that he did get involved. And for that he was impeached. To be impeached is a very difficult, is one of the most, is to want to be ashamed about when you're the president, because you have been found guilty to violate the founding fathers' constitutions and also the basic tenets of what we believe in. So my friends and my classmates, I came here thinking that it was supposed to be only for camaraderie and socialization. But I close with the fact that this is a very important election. This is an election wherein democracy is threatened, where a man who wants to aspire like an autocrat, like Putin, like Erdogan, like Kim Jong-un, these are the dictators. He says he loved Mr. Kim Jong-un, and he claimed there has been no war. Yes, of course, there
I
has
have
been
a
war
cord for that.
between us
I have a
and
cord
North
for
Korea.
that.
What's your
But
cord?
Kim Jong-un has killed thousands, if not millions of people. And have we gained anything from that particular? And we have legitimized this particular, and we put in, what have we gotten from this guy? This guy who has conquered his enemies, this guy who has been accused of being corrupt. Why does he associate with people who are corrupt and antipathic? Because he wants to be one. And if you said corruption, he was the one who has been found guilty, had to give 25 million reparation for his staff university that was paid. His organization, organization has to be abolished by the court. He has filed 6 bankruptcies. He has played, and the people who work for him, the police workers who are trying to work for his hotels, the domestic workers, they have many complaints. He has 4,000 cases, where in 2,000 he is a plaintiff and 1,000 he is the victim. What kind of a man is this who cannot even show empathy for those people who cannot make a decent living? So my friends and we are here supposed to be Christians.
Here, Bobby.
Supposed to be Catholics. But I ask of you,
No, it's not working.
the best measure of a man
It's not
is
working.
whether he is truthful or not by what he preaches and what he does. Not by what he preaches, by what he does. But the true measure of Christian is not that you pray hard, that you believe. The true measure of a Christian is that along with your prayer is that you practice charity, compassion. What did God say in the last end? Who will come to the kingdom, my Lord? And he says, he disposed people to say, away from you. You say that you know me, but where were you when I was hungry? Where were you when I was thirsty? Where was you when I was naked? When I was sick?
Hey, your charger
For
doesn't
those who
work,
have given, last,
It's
they
charging?
will be the one to enter
No,
the
it
kingdom
doesn't
of heaven.
charge.
Doesn't work.
So,
We have a Samsung.
so this is where I
no,
pledge
it's
you,
not.
my classmates. This is not just for me to give you my views. This is not for me to just say this without much leap or conviction. I believe in what I say, and I ask you to use your wisdom, to use your discernment.
They're gonna miss the best part.
Try to be objective. Look at those people who are now affected, and you decide what is the better leader. It's been given 3 years, but it's given us chaos, order, corruption, and all these regulations that he has abolished. He has
I've never heard of that.
I know what we can do.
Has anybody